Oh, hello. Today is Tuesday, May 5th. I was just enjoying the relaxing sound of the fountain behind me. The fountain in this stained glass window, as you may know, here at St. Joseph Morello Hall, Mount Carmel Hall, is of the scene in Asti, Italy, a town where St. Joseph Morello served as a priest for a while. I was listening to the relaxing sound of that water, and you must think, well, you've been social distancing too long, Father, if you can actually hear that water. But if you close your eyes and think about it, you can hear anything you want to hear, something peaceful, something calm, something reflective. Ever pass by a body of water that's not so peaceful and tranquil? Maybe a body of water that looks a little bit stagnant, like an old pond, or looks kind of like it's something you wouldn't really want to dive into. Doesn't look refreshing at all, or renewing, or any kind of happiness come from that, or peace. Maybe there's even bugs flying around it. Well, that was not the church of the early Christians, that's for sure. Today we hear the section of the Acts of the Apostles where we hear that Christians were first referred to in Antioch. And the Christian community was anything but stagnant, anything but still. It was flowing with life and energy and enthusiasm, and also some conflict. We see through the Acts of the Apostles in this Easter season how the Christian community developed, all of the difficulties they had, the challenges that they had to overcome, the things that came their way that weren't easy to deal with. We see that, and we hear the story in the gospel about Christian people following the dictates of Christ, the love of Christ, the teaching of Jesus, and it wasn't an easy thing to do. When we think of our faith these many years later, we think of this refreshing, renewing, rebuilding that the church is always about. It's never something stagnant or stale. It's always imbued with the Spirit and strengthened with it. The gospel today tells us about the unity of the Father and the Son. John uses a lot of images to convey that to us. And it's one of the bases of the teaching of the Trinity, the unity of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. In today's gospel, Jesus said, the Father and I are one. That's kind of hard for us to understand, hard for us to figure out. But the unity of the Holy Trinity is something that the church believes in very strongly. This one God has come to us in three different dimensions: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Anyone who goes to that length to be present to us is not someone whose growth is stagnant, who is just kind of stale in approach, but someone who is filled with the Holy Spirit and who is the author of life and who brings us to life every day. In these challenging days, in this difficult time, we have to keep reminding ourselves of that reality. Otherwise, we're going to sink into despair and discouragement, and we can't do that. The Spirit will find our way through this time. It will help us to move through it. It will invigorate us and strengthen us and give us a few moments of peace, or maybe, like I did in the beginning of this reflection, you could just close your eyes, listen to that peace, and let it change your life.